Hey guys, Danielle here. Today I am doing a special video. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So I recently saw 50 Shades of Grey the movie, and I decided I would do a review for you guys, and I am waiting a little bit longer to put it up just to make sure that you guys have already seen it, hopefully, and if you haven't, then this is a huge spoiler alert, so come back to this movie once you've saw it. But if you've already saw it, please stick around and I will tell you how I felt about this video. Alright guys, so I recently saw the video. It's been a week now. It's been a long time. And it was different. I will say it's not exactly like the book. It does have books from the scenes, or it has scenes from the book in the movie, and it's its own take on the scenes. It's not word for word, but they do include key points in there, like fuck the paperwork. Oh my god, that was my favorite. But yeah, so don't expect it to be exactly like the book, and if you've seen it, tell me how you feel about the book, because I felt like they pulled certain quotes out that were good and other quotes that weren't so much. Like, they went and they made up quotes when they said, "You're the complete serial killer," when Anna's in the hardware store and Christian goes and see her. I wasn't too thrilled about that because it just implies that he's a serial killer. Like, why would they say that? They should have just stick to the script or stick to the book. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that line, but one of my favorite things that they added in the book, they are completely amazing at improv. Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan are. And Dakota Johnson, oh my gosh, I loved her. You guys all know, if you read the book, they have the drunk scene where Anna calls Christian and complains about the books, that she received the books, and then he comes and takes her and like sweeps her away. But when she was calling him, she was like, explaining how like she interprets what Christian is like treating to her, and she's like, you're like, no, go away, oh no, come here, go away, oh my gosh, I absolutely love that part. I was busting up laughing. One thing that I do like about the video is that it includes a lot of comedy, and I thought I absolutely loved it. It kept like a soft side to it, and it kept it like upbeat and nice. I absolutely loved I'll be honest guys, I loved the video, even though it wasn't the same. I thought it was an amazing take on its own way. I expected it not to be exactly like the book, and it was quite amazing. One of my other things that I had a problem with the book is they always had music going. Don't get me wrong, it's an amazing soundtrack. Like, I love the soundtrack. Ellie Goulding, Beyonce all up in there, believe me, on point. But when they never like stopped to have like a silent moment in the movie, I was kind of like, okay, why is music always playing? Because sometimes it's like quite overwhelming. But yeah, I did like the movie, just, you know, for the next one, just a little bit less on the soundtrack, you know, embrace the quiet moments. Another thing that I was like completely shocked about with this book, or with the movie, what am I saying, is, oh my god, I was reading into it and it said there were 20 minutes of sex scenes, and I was like, oh my gosh, so I'm taking the time to think about it, and I'm like, wow, that's 1/5 of the movie is completely sex, and I wasn't really too enthused about it at the beginning. I was like, okay, whoa, this is crazy. You know when you first read the book for the first time and you're like, wow, oh my god, what am I doing? And then you like start getting farther into the book and you're like, wow, I'm okay with it, this is awesome. And I'm like, yeah, at the end I was like, yeah, let's do this. And so that was completely, you know, it was awkward at first, but damn, Dakota Johnson got a rockin' body, so props to her. Woo. Another thing that I didn't necessarily like, and I wish they would have stuck to the book, was when at the end when they leave, I felt like it was too abrupt. Speaking of abrupt, I felt like the entire movie was rushed. I felt like they could have, if they can spend 3 hours making The Hobbit, if the movie can be 3 hours long, then it should have been. It was only an hour and I think like 30 minutes, and I wish it was longer. They shouldn't have rushed that much through it. They could have included other scenes. I felt like it was like bam, 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 like through the entire thing, especially in the beginning when they're trying to get to know each other. It was like bam, bam, bam. So that was kind of disappointing. I wish they would have taken more time, more scenes, just to, you know, get comfortable with the feeling, and I wish they would have included more relationship things. In the book, he's kind of, you know, like towards the end, Christian is like, yeah, I'm here for you, and like he starts like warming up to her and he wants to be with her, but in the movie it just never really got to the feeling that he really wants to be with her, that he had the feeling that he wanted to be with her, so that kind of like made me mad. It felt like he was more just using her as a submissive rather than actually, you know, building that relationship. Like, I know the relationship mostly happens in the second book, but towards the end of the first book, you know, he's there for her and he like takes the time to go back to her house to keep her happy. So yeah, and speaking of that, I just keep jumping around, but my first point a little while ago is I was saying about the ending. I wish the ending would have been closer to the book. Basically the ending, in my opinion, was not the best. I wish they would have had a better cliffhanger than how they first met, because it just ends with the elevator scene, how they're like, Christian, Anna. But I wish it would have been different. I was so prepared for them to go downstairs, or for Dakota Johnson to go downstairs and then get in the car with Taylor, but yeah, that never happened. So that was kind of depressing. Also, towards the end, you know how he begs her to stay type of thing? Yeah, that never happened. He was just like, basically, okay, leave. Like, at the end, it had him like walking towards her and she's like, now, stop. And basically, it sounds like she's treating him like a dog. So I wasn't really too enthused about that. I wish it would have ended differently. I was prepared for it to be a breakup scene, so I was prepared to be like, okay, this is how it's gonna happen. But it never really happened that way. So, you know, I don't really know how I feel about that. I'll be honest, I did cry. Not because it was sad, because the ending was not sad at all. I felt like it wasn't sad. I cried because the movie was over. I was so sad that the movie was over. So yeah, so basically I waited, how many days? Like 400 and some days to be depressed. Wow, that's over a year. And they haven't even started filming the second book yet, so it's going to be at least another year until the next one comes out, which is rather depressing. I don't know why they can't be like the Hunger Games and get them out like every year at the same time, because the Hunger Games come out every year at the fall, like they are during the fall, during like October, and they just have them like rolling. Just kidding. Why did I say October? It's November. They have it out every year in November. And so I just wish 50 Shades of Grey would be like that, because they haven't even started filming yet, and it took them over a year to like, I don't know, what is it called, like edit and clip scenes. So I wasn't too enthused that they haven't started yet, especially since they're all signed on for the third books, all the way to the trilogy. So I don't know why they're not started yet. Like, I get that they have lives outside and that they're probably writing a script just to see how this one would go over, but with all the enthusiasm that's been going on lately, I would expect them to already have the script made, especially since you're just like basically copying and pasting books out of, or lines out of a book. So yeah, kind of wish that would have happened. Speaking of that, now there were a lot of controversy about scenes being cut out, or adding scenes in. So basically, the huge, like, tampon scene, we're gonna call it, was never put in, which I am quite thankful for, because that'd be quite awkward to watch. I wouldn't know what to think. It's better off imagining in my head than seeing it played out on screen. I probably would have been, like, a little bit repulsed by it. But, I mean, other people really wanted to see it, so I'm happy it wasn't in there. Yeah, I don't know much more to say about that, because that's just a really awkward scene. Also, I hate how they spent very little time in Georgia. It was very short. Oh my gosh, I'm just jumping around everywhere, guys. I'm sorry. But it's a complete ramble video. But the whole Georgia, I wish there was more of it. I absolutely loved the gliding part. That was my favorite, especially when he was like, is this more? And it was awesome. It was exactly like the book. Another part that was kind of, that stick to the same was the interview. I'm so happy the interview stayed the same, because that's how we fell in love with Christian and Anna in the first place. So E.L. James, you go girl. I will say that all the sex scenes are accurate. They did combine 2 of the sex scenes to the Red Room of Pain. They did combine 2 of those. I did see that. But one of my scenes that I wish they would have included, they did the wine scene, but they didn't do the Ben, Jerry's, and Anna. That was by far one of the scenes that I wish would have been in there. Another scene, this is a scene that they definitely changed. Remember how in the book they were going to go to, after Anna goes and stays the night for the first time, they drove back and then they stayed at the restaurant. Well, they never went to a restaurant. They just went to some random lake, and he was like, okay, let's take a walk. I was like, okay, this is weird, but they did basically pull out the same thing out of the script and, or out of the book. They just did it in a different setting, which I didn't mind, because it didn't really change if they were in a restaurant or if they weren't in a restaurant. I felt like it was more like cozy with them outside of the restaurant than people like around them and listening. So yeah, I did like that. By far, I'm gonna have to say that my favorite scenes were when Anna was drunk at the bar when she called him. I thought that was hilarious. It was so good. And another one was definitely when she was making pancakes for him after the first night that she stayed. And yeah, those were probably like my favorite scenes. But overall, I think I am done rambling. If you guys have any question, please leave a comment down below and I will be more than happy to tell you my views, or in fact tell me your views, and then we can just like have this whole like conversation going on down in the comments about how much we love 50 Shades of Grey and or hated the movie. But I personally loved it. I thought the movie was great. It was its own take on the book. I was kind of depressed that it wasn't the exact same, but I thought overall the movie was great. But yeah, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and click that subscribe button down here. And follow me on my social media, guys. I recently made a Facebook page, so if you guys want to follow that, I have links down below. Also to my Twitter and Instagram. Those are the ones that I'm mostly on. But thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.